splits the double with 8. She's going to get a shot off. He's got it.
Are you kidding me? Yo, we are back with Stick Talk. I'm with my guys Shane and Brian for episode 3. Let's get into it. Let's get right into the games, actually. And me, being a Redwoods fan, it was Redwoods versus Chaos. Who wants to take this one? Shane, I see you already, bro.
Shane, aren't you a Woods fan too?
I am a Woods fan.
Say Diggs a Woods fan. So I'll go first as a non-Woods fan.
Yeah. Go ahead, talk about it because I'm not ready.
So remember, because we talk about this, like we're like, yo, when I picked the Chaos, they were like, you guys were getting on me, like, why are you picking? But I'm like, it's only because they had a game already. Like that bye was like Scotty talked about it before. That first week bye was crazy. But I'm just like, they're already like the Chaos already played. Like we already had our runs, and you could tell, like even just having a game under your belt, you could just see the difference. Whereas it's like the offense is going, it's like, all right, we're still kind of figuring this out. We got a couple new things since last year. This isn't happening, and they just look like a new team. Because I don't think it's any time to panic. You know, y'all Woods fans, y'all go from 0 to 100 real quick. But this is one of those games where you could just tell that it was their first game, and the Chaos had played already, and the Chaos were playing at home. So I think that Carolina thing made a little difference for them.
I mean, I don't think either team looked like they played in their first game yet, the way they played in that, bro. That was a bad game, and I actually thought the Redwoods were going to take it away in the third quarter. Like once I saw them start building on the lead, I was like, "Oh, all right, that's game right there." And then that fourth quarter came along.
Yeah, TD, man, he was handling business the entire game. He was like he won 65% of the faceoffs, and it was obvious too. It's obvious that he was like really controlling the faceoff X. And I'm like, you know how this game goes, right? You don't have a good Fogo, good Fogo and good goalie. It's hard to win the lacrosse game if you don't have either of those two pieces, no matter how good your attackmen or defenders are. But you would think, I mean, like for that game to still come down to the wire, like last minute, it's like to the wire. I was like, okay, I mean, like to be expected, right? There's a couple of intangibles there with Jules Henningberg finally playing, attack against the Redwoods. Like, okay, all right, you a little bit more
ready.
Boy, nah. Hey, you see this interview though, or like the little on? I don't know if it was like a timeout, if it was like after a goal, and they're like, "Yeah, is this a revenge game for you?" And he's like, "Nah." And the announcer was like, "Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, 100%. Of course it is. Like you don't want to not have a good showing in a game versus your former team. Like you want to ball out, and you want to let everybody know that, like, look, trading me was a mistake. Right. I will say though, it was unfortunate to not see Chris Gray out there. I wish we could have seen him, play with some guys and like have an opportunity to get a couple G notes on the board. And I definitely think he would have been the difference maker. But ultimately, that that Chaos defense is solid. That Chaos defense is real solid, and it's only going to get better when Blaze Riordan gets healthy, because as soon as he's like back into it and he's feeling good, like that's a game changer.
I mean, it's also crazy though, because Cal is playing pretty well though.
He is by far, but I mean, but it's Blaze Riordan.
But it's Blaze.
Yeah. But so I don't know, man. That was a tough game to watch. Like certainly unfold at the end.
Certainly a revenge game for Jules, man. Every time Jules scored, I was like, because I support Jules the player, right?
Yeah. 100%.
But when they're playing against the Redwoods, I'm like, forget about it.
Yeah.
Same thing with Shane Knobloch and Ross Scott. I'm like, nah, I'm not worried about you guys right now. I'm trying to get this win because I put the Redwoods as my team.
But on Stick Talk, you're all about the Scarlet Knights, and you're just sick. You're just sickening.
You're that Tyrese mean crying like congratulations.
That's because it was week one. It was week one. Redwoods did not play yet, so I don't need to talk about them. Now, when the Redwoods are in, now I get to talk about them. Right? Priority. You got to prioritize. And I've been loyal for the Redwoods since day one. Okay,
that's facts.
So
yeah,
listen, I was upset that they couldn't pull through. I was upset Chris Gray couldn't come to this game. I was upset these refs don't know how to blow a whistle or don't know how to read the shot clock. Like, come on,
Maddie
figure it out.
No Maddie Pam slander.
Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. All right. Remember, I told you I had a lot to say about this. This was a crazy end of the game possession. I'm sitting there, right? Nakai Montgomery takes a great, first of all, let's not act like the ball hitting a helmet doesn't make a very distinct, clear sound. You can tell from a mile away somebody got popped in the helmet with a ball. You can tell, right? I don't care how loud the stadium is. If you're on the field, you can hear it, okay? Mm-hmm. So already, I'm watching the game from my couch, and I can see that it hits his helmet, changes the trajectory of the ball, okay? Already, I'm like, okay. Here's the problem, though. Ball gets inbounded. Obviously, Rob Pennell is freaking out. He's like, should have been change. Shot clock should have been updated. Shot clock should have been updated. However, it's also like, hey, Rob, they're not going to do it. We got to go. Right. You can't. So I felt like towards the end, I'm like, you're sitting there waiting for the refs to make a decision, and they're clearly not. And I'm like, and then the last second shot, I was like, we get a low angle shot right side with a defender on you.
There's a question
low
mark,
and away.
Right?
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. What do we like? He himself can create a much better shot than that. Granted, question mark, sure, right up his alley. However, if the amount of time, you already have such a little amount of time with the shot clock to get a shot off. And now it's crunch time, bro. Don't sit here and wait for the rest. Let Nat do that. Let Nat freak out. And he was. Let him freak out, but make a play. You got a bunch of dogs. Give the ball back to Nakai. He clearly got his shot off. He clearly beat his man. Give it back to him. Let him rock. I was just kind of like
coach right up. The coach to you came out with that. I love it.
It did. It does, because I'm watching this. I'm like, look. At the end of the day, and I tell this to my kids too. I'm like, look, you in practice, you can get popped, right? You can get popped. Like your defender is going to pop you. But in the game of lacrosse, the flag gets thrown, the play doesn't stop. So you can't, even if you get popped, you got to get back up and you got to keep playing, right? You still get a free possession. So regardless of what the ref is talking about, regardless of what's happening, keep playing, bro. Yes, right. You should have gotten a reset, 100%. We all agree. And they should have called it. 100%. We all agree. That's a BS call, 100%. You still need to win the game. However, still a bunch of trash that you had the opportunity to call, to make that call at your discretion, because they did that with Seth Tierney, who came on and they asked him like, hey, what's the ruling on this? And they said, hey, it's the discretion of the official, and the official did not make that call. And I'm like, how are you? At the end of the day, on the side of safety and just say, okay, let's just see.
Let's review.
Let's just see.
Just
see it. Yeah, let's just see it. And like you lose nothing, not even the pace of play, nothing. It was like, bro, you lose nothing. Just check it out. If it's good, it's good. If it's not good, fine. No harm, no foul. But like, come on, man. Come on,
man.
Now, come on, man. It's all right though. Like, the Woods will come back. This will be a nice little, okay, all right, this is how we doing it. Like, the rest of the season is going to look good. And I still think they have all the right pieces. You had Chris Gray in that mix. We're not even getting to this point. It's a 3 to 4 goal game on the side of the Woods for sure, because that man is a walking bucket, and he wasn't there. So let the boys rock. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. There's just too many things that could have gone and should have gone to just never materialize. And I still think, like, keep playing, bro. Like, you're not getting the call. They're not calling it. You see that after like 2-3 seconds in, you just got to move on and keep going. You still have possession of the ball regardless, right? So make it happen.
Dude, I'm hoping this isn't the same Redwoods that I dealt with for the last couple of years, because offensively, it just doesn't look smooth ever.
No,
doesn't look smooth, and
not a lot of cohesion.
No, not at all.
Mm.
And also, we have these guys like Romar and Knack, right? But when are they going to hit the back of the net? Especially Romar, man. I'm like, dude, I am
Yeah.
the biggest Romar fan.
Facts.
And when
Facts.
this guy hits the cage, it's poetry in motion.
100%.
But when does it happen?
From dodge to shot, there is not a single player in the PLL right now that has a nicer, prettier, more effective left to right split to a jump shot. And it will go at 100 miles an hour to any spot that he wants it to. I'm with you on that, but it's also like, come on, man.
Bro,
Come on.
man. Listen.
Come on, man.
He, out of his 6 shots, guess how many hit cage?
How many?
1.
Jeez.
I'm like, dog.
Yeah.
Put it on the net.
Yeah.
Like you said, Shane, like you said about you shooting on a PLL goal. 105 is 105.
100%. Let it go, bro. Let it go. That's what I'm saying. Let it go. And you know Blaze Riordan is not in cage right now. If there's any part of the season for you to take advantage of this, it's right now.
But,
it's right now.
Team Lightskin took over for the Chaos. So Jules, Henningberg, and Josh Byrne just did their thing. 4 points each. Yo, man, I love it. That's light work right there. So good for
That's so stupid, bro.
With none of us being members of the light skin delegation.
None. Yeah, Team Lightskin. Plus one for Team Lightskin. That's crazy.
This is the Two Americas part of the podcast. Just go forward if you have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, man. And if you do, enjoy, bro.
Respect.
Enjoy.
Yeah. But Jules is a stud, and I love seeing him at an attack now because this is me being a Rutgers guy now. I'm back to being a Rutgers guy, but seeing him play an attack, that's the position he should have been at the whole time at the Redwoods. Like running him out the box for the Redwoods wasn't where he should be cooking, and especially trying to invert him all the time when he was on the Redwoods. I was like, come on, man.
I mean, I get it philosophically. I get it from a coaching point philosophically. You've got this guy who can easily cook a D-mid if he gets the D-mid. But the problem is he is such a he's two-handed and he's quick. So naturally, if you're playing against a D-mid, what he will do is he'll beat that D-mid 10 times out of 10. And what will happen is that you'll get a slide coming downfield. If he's inverted, you'll get a slide coming downfield. You can make this pass up top to a big shooter, right-handed, left-handed shooter up top. No problem. I get it philosophically. Problem was, who was up top when he was at the Redwoods, who was not getting any shots off? I'll give you one hint. I'll tell you right now, he plays for Chaos, and he did not play like that last year.
ASAP Perk?
Come on, man. Come on, man. He was out here handling business too. He was out here handling business too. So I'm like, all right, philosophically, I get it. But the problem is, like, the man is comfortable at attack. Like, we're gonna go here a bit later on in the pod, but there's another person who was playing midfield who should be at attack, and we know who he is. And when he played attack, obviously he was cooking. So I'm just saying, it's like, it's the same reason, same thought, where you have all of these guys who play well together, like, for example, Grant Ament and Mac O'Keefe. You know they have chemistry from college. You've seen it. They're on the same team. There is something to be said about that. That being said, same thing that, obviously goes with Josh Shawada and Brennan O'Neil. You have these people who know how to play together. Like, it's, I don't know, man. I think you can just I don't know. I think I get it philosophically. I get it, but you got to let the boys rock where you want to.
Let me say this, screw philosophy. Let the boys play what they have been doing, and let's transition, because of what you already alluded to is talking about Brennan O'Neil. Last week he played midi and he had 1-1.
Yeah. But clearly he's capable of more.
This weekend, he plays attack. And what do you have? 9 points?
Yes. Freak.
Dog.
What a freak.
And the Outlaws changed their entire attack line.
Oh yeah. Permanently.
And
If I'm permanently, that
And
man has to stay down there for sure.
so Outlaws beat the Utah Archers 18-17 due to a crazy second half from Brennan O'Neil. Not even a crazy second half from Brennan O'Neil, just a crazy fourth quarter from Brennan O'Neil. I had to rewatch that whole game just so I could feel the momentum, what he was doing in that fourth quarter. Because I was watching fans leave the game before he started having a day. I can't believe people started to forget who they're playing against and who's on the Denver Outlaws.
Let me tell you something.
Let me say this. Brennan O'Neil stock was at an all-time low after week 1, but people were selling their stock way too fast on Brennan.
Crazy. It is insane that you would watch a PLL game and think that you should leave at any point past 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If they're down by 10 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, fine. You do not leave because we got 2-pointers, baby. We got 2-pointers. That game could the whole momentum could shift within a minute. Now all of a sudden, this is a 1-goal game when it could have been. It was 5 3 minutes ago. But this game was a lesson to those folks. Don't turn the TV off. You never know. Folks could start hitting them corners. Folks could start getting them little passes on the run. And I also shouts out Brennan O'Neil for sure. He was not the only one on that fourth quarter, that second half, who was really cooking. He had some help. He had some good help too. Guys were getting their first career goal was an around the world. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, it's also Zawada was cooking in this game too.
100%.
Yeah, 5 points.
He's I like how the PLL, like you see it with the Atlas, that they kept together Shelly and Xander, and then you see it with the Outlaws, how they kept together Zawada and Brennan. I'm missing a team, but you see what I'm
Archers.
saying? They keep together those college
duos.
chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, Mac O'Keefe and
Grant. Exactly.
Yeah.
This one played out like crazy. And exactly what you're saying. You can't leave this game with Brennan playing. And let me tell you this. There was, in the fourth quarter, Denver scored 10 goals and Utah scored 3.
Yeah.
How could you expect, how do you have a meltdown that bad?
It's what Shane said. So you think about it, because so it's short season so far, but it's the game of the season so far. It's hilarious because you can use Lax Twitter as your barometer. So it's the first quarter, first half, the whole what are they doing with Brennan O'Neil? That whole thing, that whole conversation that Brennan O'Neil is what should we do with him is insane. So you're this first half, everybody's just going in. Coach Sudan's on the hot seat. What are you doing with Brennan O'Neil? He's a bust, blah, 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 right? First half ends. Second half begins. The person nobody talked about, Luke Weirman, absolutely cooks at the faceoff dot, right? Because I thought he would do well against this, and he was in my fantasy team, so I'm not lying. But I didn't think he's gonna face off at 64% and have a goal. So it's okay, we can play make it, take it. Like Shane said, all of these rookies are starting to cook. Him and Jake Vicino on the facing off. He's just kind of flicking it out. Okay, cool. Jake Vicino got it.
Don't talk to me about Jake Vicino, bro.
Yeah, I know the fantasy. So let Luke Weirman's winning. Make it, take it. And it's funny because in the first half, I'm like, why do I feel like the Outlaws are still in this game? Because this is something the Archers aren't doing, where it's we're the champs, and it almost like they played you're gonna lay down because we're the champs and we're up by 5-6 goals, and the Outlaws didn't lay down. Maybe it's that young thing where it's just we young boys, we can go out there and we're gonna play. It's that they miss Graham Hossack a lot because their defense is so much different now. Where it's when Brennan O'Neil goes Super Saiyan, they don't have anybody to put on him. And he's just Cool. Boom, first goal. Luke Weirman, face-off win, and they're just rattling off these goals. And I'm like, Luke Weirman keeps winning every face-off. They don't have anybody to stop him. And then when they try to stop the bleeding, can we talk about why at the end of the game, Archers get the ball, we can win this game? What am I going to do? I'm going to dodge JT Giles Harris. And Ryan Boyle even said it too, bro. Like, everybody, you could take a shot at the throne. That's the one that you choose, and then we gonna dodge. I'm like,
Hey, but that's a sign. That's a sign of the level of disrespect.
I love the confidence.
Yeah, the level of disrespect.
JT's like, what? Really? I'm just sitting there like, this is the person that you dodged. You dodged arguably the best on-ball defenseman in the league, and I'm just like,
nah, bro.
They learned.
See, that's a sign of the level of like confidence that all of these players have to be able to be like, yeah, this is a good decision for me. Like I could.
In the moment, it was
it's not JT's confidence, though. It's like it's just insanity going against JT.
Well, okay.
Regardless of how you look at it, I would never be like, that's the smart choice. Let's JT.
Game on the line. That's one
retroactively. I agree with you. Here's the thing. It's like saying, I don't know if you've seen this interview where they're like, hey, I think they're asking, I don't know who they're asking. They're asking somebody, some NBA player. He's like, hey, you're down game. Well, you're like, you're a couple games down. You think you're going to come back and win? You're going to be here back here on Sunday? And you look at him and he goes, what am I supposed to say? No? Like, what do you mean? Like, of course I'm going to try to win. And so, like, for him, game on the line, bad decision, retroactively. But in the moment, for sure, he's looking at him like, I'm good too. I'm going to be able to do this too. Terrible decision. We agree on that. However, I can see the thought process. I can see the mentality. Where they're like, yeah,
Shane,
I'm still him.
No, it's stupid. Because you can be confident. You can be confident, but you have to be smart too at the same time. I think being able to say like, I think I'm gonna win is different than like being like, I'm gonna take the best defender one-on-one with the game on the line right now. Like that's kind of different.
I agree.
That's Carlton Lassick. That's Carlton Lassick and shot Fresh Prince. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I got this. No, you don't, dog. No, you don't.
Give me another reason why you would do that. If it's not just like, yeah, I can also take you. There's no other reason why you would think that this was a good decision. I agree, it's a bad decision. I'm just saying he's thinking in his head, I'm good at lacrosse too. I don't care. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it. And I kind of respect it because that's how you should be in the PLL. You made it to the PLL. You on the field. There's no reason why you shouldn't be on the field thinking, there's no reason why you shouldn't be on the field. And there's a person on that field that you are afraid of or afraid to dodge or afraid to score on or any of that stuff. So mentally, I get it. I get why you made the decision. Is it a bad decision still? Retrospectively, 100%. But I mean, what you expect them to do? You expect them to be like, ooh, I'm afraid of this guy who is also in the PLL. Maybe no. That thought process probably never occurred to him. He said, shit, you know who I am? I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's wrong, but I get it.
I think my ego would have been like, yeah, I would love to take this guy. But like, if we take a step back and realize what's going on, I'd be like, this guy,
that's all it is.
4 cause turnover this game. And
that's
I'm
all,
not give him 5.
See, I agree with that. It's ego though. And that's okay. You need somebody you need swagger and arrogance out there. You don't show up to a lacrosse game thinking, maybe I'll do well. Maybe it was like, bro, everybody wants the home run play. They want to play like, yeah, you see me, I'm out here, I shut this game down. Everybody wants that. I get it. It's bad, but I get it.
All right.
Brennan O'Neil did it though. He's the one to shut it down.
He did.
Do you think Luke Weirman is possibly the second best Fogo in the PLL right now?
Who's the first?
Not even a question.
I know you ain't asked that question.
Who's the first?
What did he say?
Who's the first?
Dog, it's Trevor.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Why'd you say it like you're what?
You're trolling. You can't even say it when I was smiling. For a second, I thought you were serious.
I hope
I
you
was
have no
about to say,
rebuttal.
break it
to that.
I called
Nah,
myself out
dude.
the
Yeah,
shade
for
play.
sure. He's the second best. 100% he's the second best. Like Trevor's like generational talent for Fogo. Like that's there. I don't like, he's dominant in almost every way. But
You
Luke
think he's better
Weirman,
than
I think,
TD? Luke Weirman, you think he's better than TD?
I think so.
You
I
know,
think so.
it's tough, right? Because we went from let me tell you, Luke Weirman's like 3-week process. Went from, oh damn, he made the Outlaws. Oh damn, he took Connor Farrell's position. And now we're at, oh damn, he might be the second best Fogo in the PLL.
Was it that hard?
Offensive bag too.
Was it that hard?
Oh my God, dude.
Was it that? We're talking about Luke Weirman, right? You just said he's the second best Fogo in the PLL.
Yeah.
Was it that hard for him to take Connor Farrell's spot? Was it that hard for him?
I think he took an all-stars position, man. Like, it's not like he claimed that position when he got picked up.
Was it that hard for him? He is this. You just said he's the second best behind Trevor Baptiste. Would you say that Connor Farrell was?
Dog, I was asking you. I was asking.
I'm just saying. He is for sure.
And I also think anytime you come from a rookie, you're straight from the tournament. And now I'm asking you guys, is he the second best Fogo? That's a crazy jump.
Yeah. That is a crazy jump.
His offensive bag is good too. Because he's like covering that Trevor cloth where I can win the face off. That's the reason why he took Farrell's job. He gets the ball in the stick. I can stay out here. I can score. Like I look like a lacrosse player with the ball in my stick, no shade to face.
For sure.
The face off guy, but that becomes a thing, especially with this new. You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, little shade to face off guys, because those guys kind of run and move like they're not true. They run like a specialist on the field for the most part. But he, for sure, I agree with you. He moves like a real lacrosse player. He moves like he play a little midi too.
Yep, you gotta be Trevor. You gotta be Nardella out here. You gotta be like play lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
He's in third right now for face-off percentage.
Because is it Trevor, TD, and then Weirman?
Yeah, Trevor. This is stupid with an 84% face-off percentage. Then we got TD with a 66%, and then Luke with a 65%.
Let's let the second game. Let's get the Woods get a second game and see where they at. I still think
that's insane. That difference between first and second.
Yeah.
Crazy. Next game though was the New York Atlas versus
them boys.
Your boys, dog. New York Atlas is now like the Golden State Warriors back in like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson time now. That's what they feel like right now.
That's facts. I mean, I still don't know what to feed as an Atlas fan. I'm just saying 3-0. But when we're talking about the familiarity with the teammates and stuff, like this is how crazy it is, right? So Jeff T had 11 points in that one game last week. So then it's like, all right, he didn't even have a bad game. It's like he can kind of we could pick our spots. Am I gonna dodge Rowlett? Nah, we'll see. Am I gonna dodge Newman? We'll see. Shelley, same thing. Where it's just like we can kind of just pick and choose our spots. Xander Dixon is there. Can we talk about Miles Jones? We're just gonna give him time and room shots.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, son.
Low bro Rowlett's like, I'm just gonna get off the field. Oh, word? What, like you were giving Miles room? You giving Miles an 11-yard time and room shot after he hit a time and room 2-bomb earlier? It's like what? Oh yeah, Dox Aiken is still there too.
Straight up, the angle where that shot's coming from every time is like basically from a deep hole, dude. You're not saving that. That's hard. If he gets caged, that's an easy goal for him.
Like Scotty said,
what are we doing?
The Warriors. Pick your poison.
Yeah. No, we're talking about, or going back to earlier, it's just like the cohesion of like the Woods versus like that team moves like they know each other. Please tell me you all saw the pass from Jeff Teat to Xander Dixon that Xander wasn't even completely turned around yet and that ball was in the air.
Yep.
And like the level of there were 2 passes this weekend that like not really surprised me, but we're like, man, this league is different. was one, the underhand pass from Captain America to Connor Fields right in the middle of the crease. That was freaky. That was freaky. But that one where you get a little turnaround catch, dude, the level of like, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do during the week. They they have some crazy telepathy going on. And then you add Connor Schellenberger in the mix, who is a 100% pass first type of player who will put that in a corner if he needs to, if he's got open enough, will. That team was destined for greatness. And I think the best thing to happen was Brennan O'Neil going first overall and Connor Schellenberger going second to the Atlas. That was the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Because the Outlaws needed him. And Schellenberger is perfect. And it's just, Xander Dixon, Connor Schellenberger, he's just like, oh man, I'm at home and I don't have to, in 4 years, you'll still be here. And I'll still be here. Like we could run a whole dynasty if both of them stay together. You get Xander, Shelly, T. Holy.
T to be like 4 years. T to be like what, 28, 29?
Come on, bro. That's crazy. Now, and hopefully 4 years, 5 years from now, even more funding gets put into the league. These boys are really compensated to stick around and just do that for the rest of their playing age. Man, we're about to see a whole new level of lacrosse that we haven't even tapped into yet, which I think is going to be just insane. The level of skill from these guys, it's insanity. The
home team, since the PLL had their home bases, they're 3-1 now. Do you think home field advantage is a thing, or is it just like the matchup has been better?
¿Por qué no los dos?
I think it's cool.
It means why not both? I think it's both of those things. I mean, there's 100% something to be said when you look up and you see flags of the team you're on, and you see people wearing the jersey. Most, like if you're a Chaos fan, you're seeing mostly red in the stands, right? When you score, the field gets louder. When they score, it's kind of like, oh, nice, cool, because it's still a good shot. I mean, the energy of that, it's hard. You gotta know that it feels good to know that there are people around you who are louder for your achievements than your opponent. That has an effect. I don't care who you are, I don't care where you play. That has an effect, in my opinion. But I also think the matchups matter.
I think the matchups do matter. I think the New York Atlas are the best team in the league right now. So
easily.
I don't want to give that their 2 wins strictly because of where they were playing in New York, because I think they're going to give the work to anybody in Florida. Like, I don't care where they play. They're good. They're that good right now. Yeah. But Charlotte, I feel like had a different home appreciation for them. Like Charlotte has a history of lacrosse with the Hounds, and then they brought the Charlotte or the Carolina Chaos over here. So I feel like they have a little bit of familiarity over here. They know how to have that lacrosse atmosphere. And I do feel like a little bit the hometown advantage helped them out, especially when they were playing against the Redwoods. That excitement, like the home team feels on Friday night lights. Like you're right. You see your jersey everywhere. Yeah, but I'm curious to see how the home team just keeps on prevailing throughout the
for
week.
Sure. That'd be a super interesting statistic when we look at it all at the end of the season, or even like midway through the season. And the numbers are still staggering. I mean, like you said, I think we're still going to see Atlas, just rolling through everybody anywhere they go. Because I think your analogy, your comparison to the Warriors is so on point. I think they just move different. They just move different than everyone else. Like they're just playing like really solid, cohesive lacrosse. But it'd be interesting for sure. I mean, but you're going to Philly next week, right?
Damn right.
So it should be interesting to see how the Water Dogs do and how the energy shifts towards the Water Dogs in that space, or if it does. I'd be interested to see how you feel about it.
I think Philly is going to have a good amount of people there, because Philly is a sports town. That's what Philly does. Sports. Go
Yeah.
Birds, right? Go Dogs. They
Go
just
Birds.
they have there's a lot of support with the Philadelphia sports teams. I went to a NLL Wings game once, and I was like
Mhm.
amazed at the amount of people that were there. I was like, oh wait, what? People actually go here? And off of that, I think the Water Dogs too do the best job with being associated with people who have nothing to do with lacrosse simply because of their partnership with Barstool. So they do a good job with getting random people out there and being like, oh, I like the Water Dogs, right? Because of
Yeah.
that Barstool partnership. So I'm expecting a whole lot this weekend in Philly. But
Oh,
before
yeah.
we start going into that, Brian, what did you think about your Atlas this weekend?
They're a wagon. I'm not saying once I become a fan, they start winning. The Philliness of it. Am I the Jalen Brunson Atlas fans? I might be. I might just have that effect. But it's just like you said, the Warriors of it. But they're good everywhere. Because last year, I mean not TD, Trevor was doing it last year, but the offense wasn't as good last year. So it's like we have this cohesiveness on offense. They're healthy on defense. That's what I keep telling people. That was the difference. Because Gavin Allen got hurt like 5 or 6 games of the season. Kobe Smith was. I don't even think he was really even. He was getting healthy, scratched a couple games, then he played, then he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Marzaka comes back, so it's like we're good everywhere. We play good defense, so you're gonna have to score, but you can't because we have such a good close defense. Our short stick D mids are the truth. Like we don't even talk about Danny Logan, who's arguably the best D mid in the league. Kobe Smith is healthy. Tyler Carpenter was balling. He's had a goal. He had like 5, 6 ground balls, couple of turnovers, and then they've been doing good in that because we haven't even talked about Liam Entenman, where it's like Timmy Troutner has been balling, right? Because I thought so too. I thought Entenman they were gonna be like, yeah, 44 going cage, and he's been playing well. He didn't have the highest save percentage last week, but he's making the saves he needs
Doing it.
to.
Yep.
Like he's still kind of giving up just which has been the knock on him with 2-pointers that he's given up. But it's like with that offense, like okay, if you give up 1 or 2 2-pointers in the game, like we're already ahead 5 or 6 goals coming off the bus. So for us right now, they look great, and like I said, that cohesiveness also on offense, man. Like the Alice offense right now is what you guys as Woods fans want for your midfield group.
That's
And I'm not
what
even saying
anybody
that.
wants.
Yeah, but it's like not even like joking, but not even saying it jokingly. Like just really where it's like Miles picks his spots, Dox picks his spots, right? When Costabile comes back, he'll pick his spots. Bowering, like we're good everywhere, but nobody has to be the guy. And I think that's why what Shane was saying with Shelly and T, like these are like the most non-egotistical superstar lacrosse players. Like it's perfect that they're playing with each other. Like, oh, you got it, cool. I'll be in the corner. You need me to you make this insane pass, skip pass. I'm gonna be right there and I'm gonna shoot. So they just been playing just perfect. And Xander's just like, don't forget about me. So yeah, it's looking good.
They did look really good once again. That didn't surprise me one bit during this game. But I liked how the Atlas, or at least when I was watching this game, it felt like the announcers were talking about all these players who had crappy years last year and then started having a great year all of a sudden. Like, let's talk about it going off of you. Miles Jones. They like talked about how he didn't have a good year. Dox Aiken wasn't even in the league
Playing
last year,
football. Yep.
right? And then Dylan Malloy didn't even make the original roster game one.
Right.
And now they're like, wait, he's too good for him not to be on this game day roster. And Kobe he was banged up a little bit last year. So all these guys who weren't necessarily the guys last year, just making these major strides this year with this Atlas team. So the Atlas, when all those guys do get healthy, I'm curious to see who they're gonna drop off.
Yeah, because somebody DM'd me earlier and they asked me because they're like, so what do you think's gonna happen when Jake Stevens gets his passport? I was like, oh yeah. Hey Cormier, like, oh y'all might just have like it's players I don't know, man. But Jake Stevens is gonna be in there. Payne Cormier they might have to do the thing where they put him on the roster so nobody else can get him,
Yeah.
like the reserve for a couple of games. But man, that's crazy. Yeah, they're deep, man. That's the league.
Crazy. Last game of the weekend was the Whip Snakes and the Cannons. this is the first time I ever thought the whip things were good in like the last 3 years in the first half of this game. And then, bam, Marcus Holman, 2-point bomb. Just, ew. Just pins that corner. Yo,
It was
I
so
actually,
mean.
every time Marcus scored, the cameraman immediately cut to Alex Oss. And then
Yeah,
everyone else
hype-
went,
I saw that.
I was gonna say, you know how hype he is, man. Like, like your ladies in the crowd, like you just sitting there, like you just puff it out your chest,
yeah. I mean,
like you know every time
she's
you score,
going
like
crazy.
she's going crazy, man.
It's like, yeah, you see me. That's yeah, that's all me. Yeah,
That was,
I love that.
that shot was madness, bro.
Nah, that was crazy.
Just
Crazy.
a shot that breaks the sound barrier, and you can't pin a shot any better than that. Stick side high on a professional goalie.
the disrespect. Like that's how
that what
crazy
we're
that
doing?
shot was. That shot was insane.
See, but you see what I'm saying? Okay, going back to the whole like, I'm in the league. I'm like that too. To hit a 2-bomb stick side high on a pro goalie. None of these people, none of them are walking around thinking, oh, yeah, I don't know if I can
you stop this kid?
I'm telling you,
Can
they have
how
all of you have to have that.
How did we just
go from
talking about Marcus Holman to talking about Shane?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the by the way, I feel the same thing, but I'm not talking about me in this instant. I'm talking about the fact that PLL players cannot step onto a field without thinking that they are going to do somebody so unbelievably dirty that should not be done dirty. They don't care. Okay. Every single one of those people, if you are on a roster, you are willing to disrespect every single person that is in front of you. And that's the point I'm saying. Like when you're going to get JT Giles Harris, okay. In his head, he's like, "You just another man to me. I'm gonna get it regardless." Again,
it's levels to that.
Stupid.
Though.
Again, stupid.
There are 100% levels to it, and also,
I'm just saying,
we're talking about Marcus Holman. It's not like some middle of the pack attackman. We're talking about Marcus Holman, who last year was attackman of the year. So, and we're also saying he's playing against a goalie that hasn't been starting all of last year. That's starting now.
We are in agreement. However, to that point, I also want to say, somehow, some way, Liam Entenmann, I think the Whipsticks need to do whatever they need to do. They need to trade off whoever they need to get for Liam Entenmann. I swear to God, they need to make some moves.
Like you can call Stag Diddy can call, and I'm gonna press her answer the phone. Okay, cool, kick rocks.
For sure. I know that's what I said. Give them all away, bro. There's so many people in the player pool right now that if you got Liam Entenmann, like you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be straight. That's what I'm saying, bro. Because clearly they need some help. They need some help.
Well,
it's not even that. They just their offenses look bad.
What's good with Brad Smith right now?
He's out. He's hurt.
How long has
which one of them? Which is one of them? One of them's on IR. Is it Brad Smith? Because I think I think Brad Smith's gonna be out.
And Tucker.
And Tucker's out. They said for like the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And them being out it's because it's insane, right? Because there was like the whole thing, the championship, Terp Snakes, blah blah blah, and it's like just watching them play, like it's kind of like painful because it's like, all right, cool, Rambo's not winning this matchup. You can't put everything on Zed because as soon as Zed turns his shoulder, it's a quick double team. That as soon as he touches the ball, because everybody knows what Zed's going to do, and then they're all just kind of passing around like, you try, teach him alone, you try. And I'm just watching the game, just like every possession, it's like it's playing like hot potato, who's going to score, and it's shot clock, or it's like a popcorn shot that Krebs just say not Krebs that is getting saved, and I'm just like, ugh.
I mean,
right, where it's like that's what we can let him curse because I'm gonna get the curse, I always get the curse wrong, but it's just like you just say, okay, cool, thanks for the save percentage, and they just like, yeah, you can tell with them not having Tucker, and I'm pretty sure Brad Smith's out for a year.
Damn, I mean, dude, you can't expect to come out with a win if you go scoreless in any quarter in this league.
And like scoreless, 0,
a donut, and they were winning at the end of the half. So I was like, okay, the Whips might be able to do this. I was wrong. Thank God I had the Cannons winning.
I was wrong.
I was wrong. But the Cannons, let me see. In the third quarter, they scored 5. And they were on a 9-goal streak, 9 straight goals. And then the last 3 goals were the whips. It's like too little, too late.
Right.
You know, it's actually funny you say that, because that's like completely true for every game. All of the teams that had a scoreless quarter lost, every single one of them. And like the Archers had a scoreless quarter in the second, lost. Redwoods had a scoreless quarter in the fourth, lost. Whip Snakes had a scoreless quarter in the third, lost. It's interesting. You really can't. You can score 1. You have to score. You've got to hit the cage at least once. You cannot go for a whole quarter and not score.
Whip Snakes losing this game though makes me ask. I have to ask. Are we pressing that Will Manny button yet?
I don't know. Yes.
Come on, son.
Yes.
Oh, if you press it, who are you taking off attack? Who are you taking out?
That's the question. Yeah. That's the
Not
question.
a serious question. Yeah.
That's tough. That is a tough one.
Because here's the thing. I always err on the side of like, okay, if he got cut, right? He got released. Something had to have happened in that training camp for a coach to go, you're not quite where we need you to be right now, which is crazy to think about. But, people stop, put their stick down for any number of reasons, and, they're just not as sharp as they used to be, or anything. Any number of things could be happening. So, yes, skill-wise, if it's the Will Manny we all know, for sure, get that man back on, no question. Don't know who you take out, but for sure you get him back on. Didn't Diggs was calling Will Manny and Marcus Holman the bunk bed brothers. He could find another bunkmate if he needed to, but I feel like at the same time, who are you taking out? I don't really know. But
it'd be crazy to put that at mid.
He could, because he played mid at UVA.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, why not? And put Manny back in, but the reason
Zed's like the nicest dude ever, so I feel like he would do it because he's a team player. But
he's playing pole in the World Games.
Yeah, right.
He can do it all.
I'm looking at Zed okay, you better holler at one of them other two.
Yeah,
but he can run it. Yeah, he can run it in the mid too.
You're not gonna run Matt Rambo in mid. You're not running Matt Rambo. So you got really one option. That's about it. Nobody putting that man out of the box. Sorry.
No.
So I think Matt Rambo would just retire. He said, "Nah, he got me. He got me messed up.
Come out the box. What?"
But
yeah.
I do think I'm still surprised Will Manny hasn't been picked up yet by anybody.
Yeah, that is crazy. But again, like I said, I feel like something had to have been obvious to a coaching staff for them to let him go. Something had to be there. I don't know what it is, and they're probably never going to talk about it. But for him to get let go, for as a shock as it was for everybody on Lax Twitter, for sure something had to have been going on there behind the scenes, because clearly there's a team that needs some help. There's a team that really needs some help, and they have, and it could happen. It's Monday, so it could happen throughout the week. He might get a call, but he didn't get a call last week. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Stag said something though about how sometimes great players don't fit the system.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't even think that it was something that he did wrong. It's that we look at it like Matt Rambo's arguably facing the franchise. Zed Williams, same thing, facing the franchise. Lacrosse Darling, that's 2/3 of your attack. We just drafted TJ Malone. We traded for Jackson Morrow last year. All of these dudes are younger than Will Manny. We're just like, yeah, where are we going to put you? Because we're not going to put you in midi. That's what maybe just in my, I'm galaxy braining it. And I'm trying to to make sense to me. This is what would happen. In my, so maybe, but it's maybe it might have been something. But I'm just trying to like for my head to make me sleep at night. That's
for
what
sure,
I gotta think happened.
For sure. I get they don't fit in the system thing, but like, hey man, you need help.
Bro, you make the system fit around him. What do you mean?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we talking about? What system, bro? Get a man the ball.
Get a man the system. It's like I said, I am the system.
He said, I don't know about all that, bro. Just get a boy the ball and let him rock out. I mean, shoot, you gonna put after Brennan O'Neil's performance, you gonna put him in a completely system? No, man. The game plan is give Will the ball. Give Will the ball. That's the Bel Air Academy, bro. Give Will the ball. Yeah, pass it to Will. There's just some players that you just got to do. There are players that fit into a system and can play within a system, and that's how they roll, and that's all well and good. There's some players that they need to get touches. And the fact that Brennan O'Neil was not getting the touches that he was in the first half, and you see what he can really do in the second half, come on, bro. Get this man the ball. Let him get some touches. Everything he touches turns to gold damn near. He just needs to move it. And he's him. He's him.
Absolutely. So who do you think, going back to the Outlaws game, do you think Wiz lost his spot?
Yes.
100%. Gone.
Damn.
You coming out the box, young blood. 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
because who was it? Because right after the game, shout out my boy Cam McCauley, SU alum, and he sent out this tweet, and it's a picture of Brennan O'Neil, like talking about Wisdowski's get ready to learn midi, buddy.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so funny. Oh my gosh!
I'm like tears in my eyes reading it. Like that's your answer.
Same. Yeah.
Like you won the tour, Todd. You were great. Like I love Wiz's games. I think he's one of those dudes where he's like, just put me in, I'm gonna play. So I don't think he's gonna trip about it. I think people on Twitter will make a bigger deal out of it than Wiz will. He'll be like, all right, cool, I'll come out the box. Because there's just no going.
He has a spot on the team. Yeah, as long as he'd be all right. He'd be all right. It's not like that. I mean, I feel like most of his shots come from the bottom up anyway. Like he still wants to shoot from that top spot. Like, let him. That's totally fine. I mean, and Brennan is the way he plays. Like, obviously he can shoot, but he's not a selfish player by any stretch of the imagination. So I mean, like he's if he gets open, and I mean, like having another lefty shooter kind of helps stretch out the entirety of the offense a little bit more. Just like, okay, you are really like. I mean, granted, most of the PLL players can shoot both hands. No questions asked. But I'm saying like a pure lefty, having two pure lefties on the same side, like that's going to stretch out defenses entirely. So he lost it.
And that sucks guarding two lefties as a pole.
100%.
Because I play lefty too.
They're always a little different. They're always a little different. The righties, same, bro. The righties are dramatically more predictable. The lefties, you don't know. Theoretically, you're coming out slap side, right? They got it in their left hand. Boom, you get them in the slap.
No, I got it. Yep.
Yeah. But they always do. They're always a little bit more crafty than you because you're not. They're moving at a little different pace. It's just a little different. The righties, for sure. You're like, all right, cool. I got you. No problem. But going up lefty, especially coming from X up, nah, bro. Up the hash, nah, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Brennan basically has everybody back on that train real quick with that fourth quarter and overtime was ridiculous. That's probably going to be one of the top memorable parts of the season this year. Like that was the takeoff. That was the Brennan O'Neil we expected from the second he stepped on a PLL field. So when he actually does it in that fashion, it was like, welcome to the league.
I feel like people were trolling. I can't think people really were like, who's not going to be good at lacrosse? Brennan O'Neil.
No, you know what, man? I don't think it was like he's not going to be that good. Like, but it was one of those things. It's like, do you think he's going to live up to that hype? Do you think he's going to be that
I got you.
player? Okay. Because I, for a second, was starting to be like, yeah, man, I don't know if he's going to be that. He's a good player, but I don't think he's going to be somebody you build a dynasty around.
I got you. Okay.
But all it took was one damn quarter for me to change my mind.
100%.
One damn quarter to change my mind. And Now I'm like, yeah, man, that's the best team. That's the best player on his team.
Yeah, no, I
100%.
got
I
you.
mean,
That makes absolute
yeah,
sense.
I feel the same way, dude. I was kind of like, I mean, there was a lot of information circulating about like how many touches he was really getting in that first game, and like you got to get the man the ball right and just see what he can do. Um, but like in terms of his just ability to create opportunities for his team, for himself, like it's undeniable that he is ready for pro lacrosse. Like
Absolutely.
I was just it was just there. Like, oh, okay, you are meant for this. You're supposed to be here. And what was even crazier is the discourse about how he was mismanaged at Duke since he could just do all of this stuff. And I'm like, we're not even gonna go there, dude. We're
I
not
hate that
even gonna
They're
go
conversation
coming
there.
so
after
much.
Dino, bro. They're coming after
Yeah.
Dino.
That's not how lacrosse works, bro. I don't
No.
like. I don't get it. Like, shout out Neil, because Neil Barrett, because Neil's like, he's like, they come at him because he's a Duke fan, but it's just like he makes sense where maybe it's like my Syracuse-ness and like how people do with Joey Spallina. Like, do y'all think it's not basketball? It's not get the ball, put your head down, and score. That's not how it
No.
works. Like, I don't understand
No.
like this idea that people have that where it's like you're the best player on the field, you just score. Like defenses are too good. People scheme. It's too good now.
Lacrosse is not
And
that sport.
And the reason why his game really works in the PLL, in my opinion, is because he's got nothing but absolute trained assassins around him with 100 confirmed kills minimum. I mean, like you can't like if everybody's sliding to Brennan O'Neil early and he's got a couple of people you could pass. Don't get me wrong, his defense or his offensive line was solid. First line and attack line at Duke was solid. But we're talking about professional players, right? Like he's like the people he can pass to will score. They will. So that just stretch. I mean, you and I both play defense. That's just going to stretch out an entire defensive unit out to a point where you're just like, who do I like? Sliding, you're gonna miss a slide. You're gonna be late to a slide at least once. And if you slide too late to Brennan O'Neil, he's scoring. If you slide too early to him, somebody else is going to be wide open who will also score. I think it's just like he's got better people around him. I mean, and I will double down on that with the fact that he was able to create so much offense in the World Games last year when he had basically all of the similar talent around him in the Team USA. Look how much he was able to flourish. Granted, funny enough, he was coming from the box in that game too. But at the same time, it's like, dude, look at like
a little bit
when
too.
what do you say?
Different game coming out the box.
Oh yeah,
World Games
for sure. But it's like, but watching him like it's completely different. And I still feel this way about Brennan's. Like in his game, this whole season, he just kind of seemed like he was like basically just waiting. It just felt like he was just waiting to get to the PLL so he could like really ball out. But the thing about Brennan I think is funny is that he doesn't seem wrapped up in any of anything. He just looks like he's just there, just balling. Like in his post game interviews, he's just like I'm just trying to do cool stuff. And then like his energy, even when he scored the game winner, the OT winner, first thing that came out of his mouth was "Let's go," and then he pointed at the person who gave him the ball. He wasn't like, hey, me personally, let me win a game winner like that. I'm going to be the worst. I'm going to say some of the worst things on the planet in that moment. For him to be like, yeah, let's go, pointing at Cross Ferreira, like, great pass, good look. I'm like, that really shows you like who he is truly. Like he's just willing to do whatever it takes to win, man. I have no choice but to admire that as a player, as a person.
So a crazy week 2. Brennan O'Neil takes off. Whipsnake still look like, but let's go with our player of the week for week 2. You guys need to think about yours for a second.
Nah.
Who's yours?
I have mine.
Who goes first here?
Shane's not gonna take mine. Go first, Shane.
I'm not going to take yours? What do you mean?
100%. I know you're not gonna take mine.
I don't think you're going to take mine either.
Gotta be BO, man. He like the level, like it was such a dominant performance It was such a dominant performance, and to win in overtime, like to get the game tire, and then to get the game winner, and your second game as a professional lacrosse player. Man, way to shut all the haters up, way to shut all the doubters up, and and his stat line was insane. 0 turnovers, 9
Crazy.
points, 0 turnovers. Like,
That's
okay.
probably the most impressive part.
Yeah. Like, okay, great. Yeah, to me, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Okay. I get that. I'll go next here, Brian. I'll go next. Mine is Asher Knowlton. I think Asher Knowlton is such a pleasure to watch, and he's an anomaly. I remember my
Thick boy summer.
for real. My first time meeting Asher Knowlton was at a lacrosse tournament, but he was just coaching, and I didn't even realize that was Asher Knowlton because he just doesn't look like a lacrosse player by any means at all. Then even when he steps on a lacrosse field, he doesn't look like a lacrosse player. But let me tell you, he plays the game like a lacrosse player should play the game. Like the way he's just so chill with as much pressure as you want to put on him and does not care, and he'll big body anybody is unbelievable. And him having 1 goal, 6 assists the other day just tells you how great of a quarterback he is on this Cannon team. I was watching him. That game was on Sunday. I was watching him. I was like, why don't you guys just push him? It's because you can't push him.
Because he's 260.
Him. And I'm like, he's almost unstoppable sometimes, man. And the fact that people were doubting him for a quick second when it wasn't working with him and Lyle, I guess. You're talking about Asher Knowlton. Like, come on, son. One of the best player in High Point history. What conference is that? SoCon?
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Player of the year. He didn't get that stuff for no reason. He led High Point.
That man was keeping his team. Yeah, he was keeping his team in games they should never have been in. 100%.
I got Asher Knowlton all the way this week. 7 points, 1 goal, 6 assists. That's a day. We can't not notice Asher Knowlton doing this.
100%. That's a good pick.
Let me hear.
Yeah, I'll finish it up. So just like last week, when we went offensive players, I'm gonna go with the teammate that Shane just said. Brennan O'Neil's teammate, Luke Weirman, is my player of the week. Because as I alluded to earlier, Brennan O'Neil did all these things. Johnson Watt of the offense in the second half did all these things. Why did they do these things in the second half? Because Luke Weirman was winning every single face-off. It seemed like 64%, had a goal. Remember saying what we said, that when you're getting those juice goals from poles and face-off guys, he got that goal in the second half. It was just going and going and going and going. And once he started cooking, then the Outlaws just did their thing. And I'm just like, man, they got some young Lions out there. And I think Luke Weirman just did the thing. And again, it gets Sisselberger too. So it's like another darling that ate last year, one of the biggest personalities. And it got to the point where I was like, Sis was kind of just like, look, almost like he was shell shocked. Like, this dude is like this doesn't happen to me. Like 64% player of the week, killed it. Maryland fans, you can't say that I hate you because I picked the Terp.
What a guy. What
True.
a guy. And
I'm not a hater.
As we're talking right now, I'm looking at our Instagram page. We just got over 1,000 followers, guys. So give yourselves
Hey, let's go. Yes, sir.
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. Somebody told me I was actually out and I see these guys just like staring, and they come over and start talking to me, and they recognize me, and they were like saying how they always send our podcast to each other in their their Instagram DMs, and I was like, oh,
that's sick.
Go, bro.
That's sick.
Go.
Yeah, appreciate the love, guys.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't even know how to react to that.
I will say before we close out, I want to say something. I just looked at the leaderboards, okay? Points, 1-point goals, 2-point goals, scoring points, assists, shots, shot percentage, and face-off all belong to one team.
The New York Atlas.
That is crazy.
That is
the New York Atlas. all one team. 8 stats. All of them are leading. That's insanity. Jeff Teat is leading in 3 of them. Xander Dixon is leading in 2 of them. Connor's in 1 of them. Kobe Smith actually is leading in 2-pointers. And then obviously Trevor Baptiste is just light years ahead of TD Erline. Was just like that. Crazy.
Well,
The Warriors.
Next weekend, we get to beef with Brian because New York are taking on the California Redwoods. So
yeah,
I might be saying some crazy stuff to you this week in the chat, but
for sure.
Come
I have a really strong feeling I know what's going to happen though. If Chris Gray is in, it might be a different game though. I'm not going to lie.
No, it's not.
Chill.
No, it's not.
I'll be there. I'll bring my helmet just in case. And then we might be talking about a Redwood W. You know,
gotta go. You gotta try to get a number.
That's a W.
Hey, man, just make sure you stretch.
Yeah, make sure you stretch. He can take the number 1 or the number 5 jersey. He can only take 2 jerseys to get on that fan.
Absolutely. All right. My last thing is, Brian, stop cheating in fantasy PLL, because ain't no reason why you should have that many points every week, bro.
Brennan O'Neil. Shout out Brennan O'Neil.
Yes, sir.
Ridiculous. But all right, guys, that is the end of it. Episode 3. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Stick Talk Lax. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.